Hello, YouTube, and thank you for joining me again at Drunk Theology. I'm your host, the Reverend C.H. Brown, known to my friend as Chaz, and I am so happy that you're joining me. I trust that you had a wonderful Easter celebration this last Sunday, wherever it is that you celebrated, and how you celebrated it, given the stay-at-home orders that many of us are subject to. And also to my Jewish friends, Hag Sameach, happy festival for Pesach. I know it's coming to an end tomorrow, and I trust that you are having a wonderful time as well. Before we move on, if you please, press the subscribe button down there. It helps me out. And also, you'll notice a link there to my podcast, Drunk Theology, and also the link there for my Patreon page. And I'm excited to say I'm going to be putting in many of my sermons and lessons that I have taught in the past that people have requested. Also, I am going to be having book reviews and all sorts of things for my Patreons. For those of you who will support the ministry, I certainly appreciate it very, very much. Anyway, so just want to encourage you to go to my podcast again. Because we're covering the challenge of the gospel, and this week we're looking at attitudes. What is the challenge about attitudes, and what kind of attitudes should we as believers have? I'm thinking that it's going to be interesting when we look at it, specifically the Beattitudes. That word Beatitude is it kind of tells it all, doesn't it? But there's so much more in there, so much more about the consciousness of the human and his relationship to God that I think that you're gonna find very interesting, if not eye-opening, and I trust that it will be a blessing to you. I know that many of us are going through there's some challenging times right now that we're in. A lot of confusion, a lot of dysfunction. That's been happening throughout our society here, and one party says this, one party says that, and different people, everyone's wearing their mask, and whatever your position is on that. I mean, it ranges. I know from people who are just very submissive to that. Some people are doing it just because they need to. I know, for example, Shelley is required to wear one at work, and obviously if you're fortunate to have an essential job, you want to keep it, so she has to wear it, although it's very uncomfortable for her. Many of us, you can't even go to a place of essential business unless you're wearing a mask, and it's challenging. It's challenging. Then there are those who refuse to, and it's kind of like it really is a matter of conscience. It's also a matter of individual rights, as it were. So whatever position you take on that, for me, I'll just go ahead and order everything online and get along that way, or have Shelley buy it while she's at her essential business. But I know that it can be very stressful, and my prayer for you is that you come through this with the spirit of peace, because that's what Jesus said. He says, "Peace I give to you, not like the world gives, do I give to you." And if there's anything that you need, let me know in the comments below. That I can pray with you about. I am spending a lot of time on my knees, as it were, and I'm certainly there with you. And if there's anything specific, I will do my best to not only pray for you, but see that what we can do. If we know any connections that you can be put in contact with, because we're here for each other. Anyway, in the upcoming YouTube channel videos, we're going to be having some interesting subjects and topics we're going to be looking at. Someone asked me about uh, regarding the tribes of Israel, and regarding are there more than 12, and are there tribes from Africa, that are part of the tribes of Israel, because there is some groups that are Hebrew, and not only do they claim to be Hebrew, that they have been genetically proven to be Hebrew, and it's kind of like and so we have some very interesting discussions going there that I am going to be sharing on the channel. Now next week I'm planning, and prayerfully it'll happen. I'm going to be going and seeing some friends and relatives out of town, and I'm going to be conducting some interviews there. Other people in ministry, and also what they're doing and how they're surviving this stay-at-home order. Anyway, that's all for this week. So God bless you, and may the peace of God be with you. Shalom.